Hello and welcome to episode 4 of PodCast. And if you're counting in binary, 3. Anyway, straight to business. This week, our JK pick is...
Okay. Midnight Blossom by Troph X. Anyways, it's... You follow a bee whose hive is basically dying off because there's no flowers. So your goal is to go around and you have to get all the flowers by sunrise or nightfall. Can't recall which. But if you don't do it, then all the bees die! Anyways, it's a very pretty level. Or pretty level.
Pretty.
Controls great. I kind of wish that the bee would turn around when I went the other way, but no big deal. Didn't bother me too much. And it has multiple endings, which more levels need to do.
It's true. Like, it's good to have a good ending and a bad ending, a middle ending.
Got some negatives though. I want to play more. I really want to play more. That's my main thing.
Yeah.
And
make a sequel.
Yes, make more. And too much bloom in the flower level. When you go over the flower, you can barely see some of them sometimes because there's so much light behind them that it completely blocks out your visual of the hologram petal.
Yeah.
Very sad.
There's a lot of light. I mean, it's kind of nice because you're like, oh, a really bright thing, that must be a flower, but at the same time you can't really see that it's a flower. So.
Yeah, flower kind of went bye-bye.
Yeah. So, this week's Durman pick is Marble Mayhem by Agassi. This is a labyrinth-type level, or Mercury-type level for the PSP owners out there.
Great PSP game. If you haven't played it, play it now.
Yes, very pretty and shiny and all that good stuff. But anyway, this level is very elegantly made. Only a few materials are used, but it's very clean, nice, smooth edges. Very pretty and well done. There's a very good number of checkpoints after you get to certain sections. You trigger more little paths that make it so you can skip the chunks of the level that you've gone past from the spawn point, which, when you spawn, it's a very nice effect. It emits 4 little containers around where the ball appears. Then the ball appears, and then they all de-emit at the same time. It's a very nice little feature. Good use of cutscenes, good camera movement. The controls are very nice. I mean, they're probably about as good as you could expect them to be, considering the limitations of the analog stick. But it's not really a big issue. I mean, if you barely touch the stick, you go slow. If you push it harder, you go fast, just as you'd expect it to be. And we think that it'd be cool if it had a tilt control as an option, like optional, so you could just, more labyrinth style.
Basically, easy mode versus hard mode.
Yeah, I mean, that would be just ridiculously difficult to do with tilt, but it would be fun.
Some definite narrow paths.
Yeah. There you have 3 lives to get through the thing. It would be nice if more levels nowadays had some life restrictions.
So I guess making that an option would be another thing.
Yeah, have a free play mode. Like after you beat it once, it opens up the mode or something. Or make it 2 different levels, because having the separate scores would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Because you can't get all the points if you die halfway through. Anyway, moving along. Our podcast pick this week is Color Laboratory by Jeff.
Found through a method more people need to use. Go to the newest levels. Just check them out.
Occasionally you'll find some gems.
Yes.
This level is very cool. It has almost the entire level. Everything that has color in the level is player color. So you change your poppet color, the entire level changes color.
That being said, don't play it 2-player, because when you do that, it kind of whoever gets there first is whatever it jumps to.
Yeah, so as much as possible, play it 1 player, but definitely worth a play.
Teaches you everything as you go.
Yes, very intuitive design. You get to a new spot, you get a new item, and they give you a little video to show you what you're supposed to do with it. It's challenging, but not so much that it'll make you want to rage quit.
I got close to it, though. I got a little annoyed because I kept jumping for a gap and I got crushed.
There's also a spot where the camera flips upside down. That's kind of tricky, but it's not so bad.
At least it's short when they did that.
Yeah. Now, the main thing that we have against this level is that everything has too much health. Everything that you can kill with the Creatinator that you have takes too long to kill, especially if you're jumping around.
Yeah, the boss at the end was just tedious.
Yeah, so if everything had about half as much health, it would be much more fun.
Definitely.
And also, one of the enemies in the level
isn't an enemy till halfway through.
Yeah, it shows up towards the beginning, and you can like grab onto it and whatnot. Nothing happens. Then towards the end, it can kill you. So that is something that would be nice if there was some sort of
at least an aesthetic change, or some acknowledgement of that.
Like it's an eyeball goo creature, so maybe that had 2 eyes, or was a little bit bigger or slightly different shape, something.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely worth a shot. Our M&M pick this week is Tilt City.
Minigame this time. By Arceus 44.
What do you think?
Arceus.
I think that's how you say it. But anyway.
Very, very bright.
Yes, there are lots of lighting effects going off all over the place. Stuff's going on in the background while you're playing.
Basically what you do though is it's a matter of keeping your controller at the right angle while it drops. You have this bar across the center, and it drops all these balls from the top, sometimes a cube. But your goal is to keep them in contact with the platform as long as you can. If they go off, you lose points. They stay on, you gain points. Different point values for each thing. Not the most original concept, but it's a good concept to see, and they did a good job doing it.
Oh yes, very well executed level. The only things that we have against the level are that, well, for one thing, the score keeps registering after the level ends. So you'll be sitting at the scoreboard and there will be numbers shooting off the side of the screen.
Which really, all that takes is a quick little logic fix, saying that if this is true, then no more score.
Yeah. Also, it's too long. You've got, it's like 3 and
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5, 3 3/4 minutes long, which is too long for that kind of level. 1.5 minutes, plenty. For survival challenges where it's like a persistent level and you just have to survive for X amount of time, usually you want it to be somewhere between, I'd say, 1.5 minutes and 2.5 minutes.
Depends on how much change-up you got going.
Yeah, because you don't want to have the player just do the same thing over and over and over again.
Which this is what this is.
Yeah,
really.
It gets kind of tedious.
Though I think it's not on a randomizer. I think you get the same order every time. So that was a lot of work you put into it.
Yeah. There's a fine line between fun and tedium. So
This is right on that line.
Yeah, that's just playtesting, showing the level off to people, seeing what they think, and then making changes. So anyway, that's all for our picks this week. Now on to news. The PlayStation Store is back.
Which means free stuff. Well, the PlayStation Store's been back, but now the Welcome Back package is up too.
Yes, the Welcome Back package went up not too long ago, so now you can get the free games that they promised us earlier on.
And it is having errors. It is because I think so many people are accessing it that it just can't handle it.
I think that they pushed it off just so that they could have a server stress test. All these players connecting at the same time.
Yeah.
But, I had this issue.
I actually did with my PSP app.
Yeah.
So
when you click onto the free games thing, it's supposed to come up with the free game and then a list of games for you to choose from. Now, when I did it the first 2 times, I clicked the thing, then it just came up with the free PlayStation game and no games. I'm like, okay, click the thing. I hit okay, so I got that and I went back out. Games still weren't there. Okay, I went back out again. It's back to the menu before, and the logo disappeared. So I couldn't get back into it to do anything.
See, when I did the PSP one, when I bought the free spot, but then after that, the store crashed. It kicked me out of the store entirely, so I didn't even leave the store. Just out.
So anyway, I was
seems
about
to be
to...
every 4th try for every page to load. Was how it went for me. It was like fail, back, and then it worked.
But before I snapped my controller in half, I ran upstairs and took a look at the fact that they posted along with the thing. And in there it says how to solve that issue. If that disappears and you don't know what to do, here's what you do. You go into Account Management on your home screen, go to Transaction Management, then Services List, then SCEA Promotions.
Sony Computer Entertainment America.
Yes. In there you'll have a list of things. One of them, you'll have your free PlayStation Game 1 and 2. Select that, then there'll be a button that says select content. You hit that, it takes you to the store, shows you the games, problem solved.
Yep.
So, anyway, just keep that in mind if you haven't figured it out already. We don't have any fan art this week, so if...
Cut off a limb, email it to us somehow.
Yes, we want to see it, we'll show it off. So...
Seriously, I would be impressed if you managed to cut off a limb and email it to us.
Yeah.
You deserve a medal if you do that.
Well, at least a pin. LBP2 Blogs did this.
No, that's platinum worthy.
Yeah. Well, they participated, so you can too. Anything.
Almost anything.
Almost anything. Anything within reason. Sticky Notes this week is epic.
Yeah, I was screwing around in create mode, and one of my friends I was with managed to turn his sack person sideways. And I've never seen this, so I was amazed. So I'm sure there's a plethora of people out there that have no idea how to do this either. But if you use the sticker tool and click on yourself, and then it will somewhat freeze your animation. Tap L1 or R1 and it will turn you respectively. And you can do it twice and face backwards and stick decorations on you, whatever, and customize your avatar however you want. It's major step forward. I had no idea you could do this.
So, yeah, Sackboy decoration has increased by 75%. It is wonderful.
Yeah, about 50%.
75.
50.
75! Anyway. Comments and creators this week. This is his turn, so...
My old school video game addiction. The reason I play video games is because of this series, and they're coming back, so I could not be more excited. Twisted Metal needs a costume pack for the release coming up. This might happen if I'm lucky. But I want to see Sweet Tooth, I want to see Preacher, Dollface, and Grimm. Maybe Calypso, but not as important, not as key of a visual character. But I mean, Sweet Tooth's clown mask, especially the clown pants, gotta have them. Preacher, I want that hat. Nice big, wide brim hat, the priest outfit. That'd be great for some horror levels.
Basically, all of them would be good for horror levels.
Dollface is creepy.
Yeah, see? Horror levels.
Dollface has a porcelain china mask on, and then Grimm is wearing his friend's skull from the war. So,
all sorts of fun, family-friendly things.
Yay!
So anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Check out the website, LBP, well, podcastlbp.com.
Nice one.
Yeah, sorry about that. And also find us on Twitter with the same name. The gallery levels will be updated shortly.
I screwed up on those last week, actually, and nobody noticed. I forgot to change the selector on our podcast pick to the other level.
So anyway, should be working correctly this time. Send fan art to the email, send levels to the Twitter, and we will see you next week.
Yep. Crushed.
There's also a spot where the camera flips upside down. That's kind of it.